Hey y'all, welcome back to Apron Streams. I'm glad y'all are in the kitchen with me while I get ready for Easter Sunday. I'm going to be making a goodie today, one that Mama made real often, and she got it from her friend Stacia Morris. They went to church with us, and it's a good pie. It's an easy pie, and it's a different way to have a pecan pie. So y'all need to get on over to the butcher block and we'll get it assembled, get all the stuff put together. We got to whip some egg whites in the mixer, and the KitchenAid's what I use for that. And then we'll get it in the oven, and then I'll show y'all how good it is. It makes a pie that's a little bit chewy. It's not your typical pecan pie. It's called a pecan delight pie. Has some unusual ingredients in it, and I think y'all will like it. So you'll have time to run to the store and get what you don't have at home, and you may have everything at home to cook it. You can make one for your Easter dinner. And get on over to the butcher block and get your spot where you can see what's going on, and we'll get this going. Okay, the first thing that you're going to need to do is get you some just saltine crackers and put them in a Ziploc bag and get as much of the air out as you can. And then you're going to just take your rolling pin. Now, I've already done these, but I'm going to show you what I did. I just banged them along with my rolling pin till I got little bitty pieces, and then I rolled them some. And they don't have to be just totally powdered. They just need to be cracker crumbs. So let me see if I can show y'all. See, they're just pieces, little bitty flakes of crackers. That's what you need. You're going to need 3/4 to a cup of chopped pecans, and I got my little bitty food processor out, chopped my pecans, and they're ready. You're going to need to grease a 9-inch cake pan, and I used Crisco for mine. We're going to go over to the KitchenAid and separate 3 eggs, and we're going to beat the far out of 3 egg whites till they're good and stiff. Then we're going to add a little baking powder and sugar. And then we're going to fold in our crackers and pecans and get it in our greased cake pan, and we'll have our pecan delight pie ready to put in the oven. Then when you bring it out, we're going to top it with some whipped cream when it gets cool. So let's get over to the KitchenAid and whip up those egg whites real good and add our sugar and baking powder to that, and then we'll come back over here and finish it up. Sure am glad y'all are in here with me because it gets real quiet by myself. Okay, I showed y'all my egg separator a day or two ago. So I'm going to separate 3 egg whites from the yolks and get them in the pan. And then I will beat them up real good. So let me get this done right here. I hope y'all are planning a good Easter meal. April and her family are going to come up. And I don't know, I think I'm probably going to cook a ham and have some green beans cooked down real good with lots of bacon in them. And boy, these eggs have lots of white. That's good. And I imagine I'll make my black-eyed peas squash casserole. And we usually have some kind of a corn casserole. I think April's going to make a tres leche cake. And if we like it, then I'll make it for y'all. She's using a recipe that she found. I've never made one of those. So if it turns out good, then I'll fix that for y'all to see how to make one at your house. You may already make them. We've never made it. That's just April's favorite. And she'll get the ready-made ones at H-E-B that are good as homemade just about it. But she wants to learn to make them. April likes to bake more than she likes to do home cooking like I do. Okay, that's our 3 whites, and look at these big old pretty yolks. My chickens lay the biggest, prettiest eggs. So I'm just going to beat these until they're real stiff. They're starting to get real stiff now. They're making peaks, but I'm going to do them a little bit longer. Then I'm going to add in the sugar and the baking powder. Okay, see how stiff they are? They stay on the beater when I raise it up. I'm going to turn the mixer back on, and we're going to whip in our baking powder and our sugar. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and add my baking powder on this beater, and I'll add the sugar as it's running. Okay, now I'm going to take my bowl back over to the butcher block and add the rest of the ingredients. So y'all meet me at the butcher block and see what we're going to do. We're going to need to fold in about 3/4 of a cup of these cracker crumbs. Let's see where we're at here. That's just about it. So I'm just gonna fold these in by using my spatula, and so it's 3/4 of a cup of cracker crumbs and 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. I had some extras done, and then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I use real vanilla extract. I make my own occasionally. This is some that my friend Candy gave me some that she had made. Okay, a teaspoon of that. And I'm just going to gently fold this over and over until I get it blended into the egg whites. Different kind of pecan pie, huh? Man, it's good when it's done. Have y'all ever made meringues where they're kind of chewy but they're crumbly kind of? Well, that's kind of how this turns out. This reminds me of meringues, which I've never thought about cooking it, just dolloping it out and seeing what happens. I may do that one day. But right now we want to just fold it over. You don't want to just ruin the fluff of your egg whites. You want to fold it over and over till it's incorporated well. Then you want to just put it into your greased pan, because you know you don't have a crust there. The edges of this gets kind of crusty, and you're able to cut it and serve it. So you don't have to worry about what am I going to do without a crust. It'll work. I just loved it when Mama made this. In fact, when she first got the recipe, she liked to wore it slap out, because we had them a lot. But most of the time, Mama would have, you know, eggs and sugar and baking powder and pecans and crackers. So, I mean, it's something that if she could make up some whipped cream to go on the top, she could make it any time, and she pretty well did. Now, you know that when you're beating your egg whites, everything has to be perfectly clean and dry, okay? You don't want to wash your bowl and it be damp and you think you're going to whip egg whites, because what's going to happen is they're not going to whip. They have to be clean. Okay, I'm going to clean my edge of my pan right there. I see I got a little bit on it. Since it's greased, I can wipe it. Let me wash my hands, and then this goes into a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. Then we'll come back and I'll show y'all what we're going to do next to make it so yummy. Okay, into the oven. And I had put my thermometer in there. I like to be sure that my temperature is right. And it's a little hot, so I'm going to cut it down just a snitch. Get this all over in the sink to wash, but I'm going to show y'all something else that I've already made for Easter. And I'll link the video link below so y'all can go watch that if you want to make one for your family. One of the recipes that I've prepared that has been viewed more than anything else is my mama's Millionaire pound cake. So I got this cake plate from having princess house parties 35 or so, 40 years ago. No, Troy Wayne was 2. This was about 48 years ago. And I've took good care of it and kept it. I told y'all before, if you look like I've got lots of stuff, I have stuff that I've took real good care of, and I've had it for years and years and years. So if you take care of your stuff, it becomes treasures to you. Now your kids may not care anything about it, but you do. So this is Mom's Millionaire pound cake. And I don't know if I'm going to serve it just plain or if I'm going to put strawberries and whipped cream on it. But see what a big, fat, pretty cake it makes? It's just delicious. So I'm going to list the link below to this video. And if y'all want to make one, what I did when I beat my, I whipped my butter. I used the whisk that I use on the KitchenAid mixer to whip my egg whites. The whisk is what I used. I whipped my butter, I added my sugar, and I added my eggs one at a time like I tell you in the video, and beat them real good. But I used the whisk until I got through with that. Then I cleaned it off and added the paddle on to add the flour and the milk and the rest of the ingredients. So that's just a tip. And oh, it turned out so big and pretty. Now this cake doesn't have any baking soda or baking powders in it. Your eggs and the beating it is the leavening in it. It is a wonderful pound cake. So I will link it down below. And I'm going to turn the camera off and wait for my pie to get finished, and I'll bring y'all back and talk to you a little bit more about that pie. Okay, my buzzer's gone off. See, it just looks like a little crunchy, and that's what it is. Now, it's going to have to cool, and then when it gets plumb cool, I'll put my Cool Whip on the top. Now, you can make your own whipped cream, and here's what you do. You take a cup of heavy whipping cream. You're going to beat it till it's just kind of frothy, and then you're going to add in your 1/4 of a cup of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then you beat it till it forms stiff peaks. And you can put that in the icebox for a little bit to keep it, but not for days. And then you would just spoon it onto your pie. Now you can do individual pieces, or you can put it on the whole pie and bring it out and cut it. So what I'm going to do today, when it cools enough, I'm just going to put some on one piece, because this is Friday, and if there's any left, I want to be able for it to look good and not be mushy and soggy by Sunday. So I'm going to do a one-piece serving here in a little bit and show y'all. But it's got to cool first or it'll melt our Cool Whip. So I'll be back in a little bit. Now I'm going to tell y'all something about this pie. See how it's crackledy on the top? It does that because of the egg whites. And it's not a beautiful pie, it's a delicious pie. So when you cut it and get it on your plate, it may be broken. It may come out in a whole piece, but put your Cool Whip or your whipped cream on the top and just enjoy the soup out of it, because it's good. Okay, y'all, I've got a piece cut, and I've put my whipped cream and a sprinkling of pecans on the top. And I'm going to show y'all over here how well it holds up when you cut it. See, the top is crackledy, but it does hold its shape. So when you cut it and this kind of falls apart, just kind of put it back together, because it is like a meringue, and put your Cool Whip on the top. But let me tell you, it's just so chewy and so delicious. I'm smiling because I just got a text from a friend, Judy Kelly, and she had made the shrimp fried rice, and her family loved it. So that just makes my heart all warm and fuzzy. Right now, I'm going to try a piece of this pie, and it's probably going to taste good because I put it on a piece of my Old Country Roses china, but it would taste good anyway. Y'all, that's good, and it's not syrupy sweet. You know, if you make a pecan pie with the Karo syrup and sugar, It's so sweet, sweet, sweet. This is not that sweet, but it's that good. Now y'all have another one of our family favorites that I remember my mama making as I grew up. And if y'all will make it, I promise you, you'll want to make it again and again. Because it's so simple and easy, but it tastes good. It tastes like you worked real hard on it. Hardest part's rolling out those crackers and making crumbs out of them. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a beautiful day on Good Friday. Sun's shining here. It's so pretty. Little Richard's here, and he's helping Papa. Papa isn't doing much of anything, but they're planting tomatoes. So guess who's watching and guess who's working? I don't know what he'd do without his helper. That little old feller looks out for his grandpa. I mean, he's a step ahead, not wanting Papa to do anything. And Troy can do a few things. He just can't do anything like bending over, planting, standing up. That would exert him. He wouldn't have any air left to breathe. But anyhow, and we're still waiting. We'll have Heart Cath the 28th of this month, and then we should know something after that. Thank you for every one of you that's praying and keeps commenting that you're praying for us. We need it. That's what's carrying us, because this is a Lord, uncharted territory for us for sure. We've never known anything about this road. But we finding out it's got a few bumps and a few potholes, and we'll just wait and see what our outcome is. Now y'all remember what today is. It's the present. It was given to us by Jesus. It's our day to live. It's a gift. Open it up, make the most out of it, make some memories. We ain't promised tomorrow. Be sure that those you love know that you love them. Treat them right, speak kind to them, show respect, have integrity, do what's right, and you'll be blessed. I'll see y'all back here in a day or two. The Lord bless you.